Hello, everybody, and welcome to the FanSplash podcast. I'm Jesse, and this is Tyler, and today's a very special episode. We will be reviewing Marvel's Luke Cage, just dropped on Netflix today. We're super excited. This is the first TV review we have done since we did our Game of Thrones special, but we are doing it a little bit differently. We are not going to be doing a whole season at a time. We're going to be doing this episodically, just so it will be more digestible?
Yeah, so our thoughts were... With each review, we've kind of done different things, but mainly we've had like the idea of how we're going to outline it, and then we've just run with it. So in the past, for like highly anticipated things, we've just taken an entire podcast and said, this is going to be the episode, and we'll do that. But we've run into some speed bumps as evidenced in the Game of Thrones podcast.
Yeah.
And the Daredevil season review that we did. Well... Sometimes it's good to linger if it helps the conversation, but the problem is that we don't remember enough.
Right.
We watch the whole thing, and then we have to wait till each of us has time to get together. And that doesn't always work out best for short-term memory. So
sharing is caring, and we have a special way of going through the Luke Cage season, which is...
an episode at a time.
An episode at a time, and sometimes you might see me, sometimes you might see Tyler, sometimes you might see both of us, but this way we're going to be able to get the content out to you as much as possible, as fast as possible, and then you can enjoy it, and we're going to be talking right along with you like you have seen the show and you want to know our thoughts, and please leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, because I would love to know how much you guys are watching this show, or maybe you're listening to us because you're not sure if you want to watch this show yet. You should watch it. But
so far, so good. We're only one episode in. We're in the studio for the first episode. And then I believe...
Happy Force Friday, guys.
We're not sure who's doing episode 2 yet. But thoughts? Let's get right to it.
Yeah, let's get right to it.
2 minutes in, let's get to it.
So Mike Colter was introduced as Luke Cage in Jessica Jones pretty early on. I think the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was pretty consistent throughout the whole season. Not in every single episode, but just about.
I think there was a gap where he wasn't in for like 4 episodes or something like that. But yeah, he's pretty consistent in it.
Yeah, and I think in Jessica Jones...
Great supporting character.
Yeah, he's a good supporting character, and he was pretty serviceable in the role. And I think, getting into what really works about this show so far, I wanted to get into one of the points you made about the casting of Mike Colter as Luke Cage and his transition from Jessica Jones into this show.
I think that he's much more fitting as a main character role.
Yeah. I think we weren't sure, but just based off Jessica Jones, whether or not he had the charisma or what's the word I'm looking for, presence to carry his own show. You know, you don't know until you know, and so far I think he's off to a really good start. We get to see more humor from him, I think, in this series.
My problem with not I don't know what it is, but in Jessica Jones, I don't know if it's the writing, the characters, or the execution, but something was just a little off that didn't fit right for me. You know, I don't know, maybe Kristen Ritter and Mike Colter didn't have the chemistry that I would think, but in the end of Jessica Jones, it kind of wraps up together much better. Then God damn it. And then you see Luke Cage as himself, and I think main character wise, so far so good. He's gonna it's a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit.
And something I wanted to comment on that I really appreciate, and this was instant, this was within the first 5 minutes of the episode, but just the change of environment. Both Daredevil and Jessica Jones had a lot of similar themes and elements, and you definitely felt like you were in the same part of the neighborhood. And now, instead of being in Hell's Kitchen, they take it over to Harlem, and you just get a different sense of community and the casting and things like that. And it was refreshing, I think, from what I've seen so far.
Yeah. No, it was a nice change of setting.
Yes, exactly. And then what else really worked for you in the show?
As always, the villains are pretty pretty good. Now, you don't get a whole lot. I mean, you get plenty of screen time for the villain.
You get more of the villain in this first episode than we have any other first episode.
Yes. But how much, like, character did you get?
Not
Do
a
you
lot.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But we didn't see Fisk until, I think, episode 4 of the first season of Daredevil. And then we didn't really see Kilgrave until about that far into 2 and 3.
And he didn't really develop until, like, the end either. Yeah, no, right off the bat, it starts with the villain. But so far...
Cottonmouth.
Like, you haven't seen the extent that this character goes to. There's obviously still a lot of growth for the character. But, yeah, Cottonmouth, sorry. I think again, it's hitting the nail on the head. And good job, Netflix.
I thought of another positive that I did not put in my notes. Easter eggs aplenty. There's almost more Easter eggs in this episode than there is like a whole season of Daredevil.
So why don't you name them?
Without getting too far into spoilers, I want to keep it kind of open for anybody that hasn't seen this episode and you're using this particular review to see if you're going to watch it or not. But there's references to the events in the Avengers. There's references to the other street level heroes like Daredevil and Jessica Jones. Although they're brief, you got to keep an ear out for them. And then there's just references to Luke Cage's origins and general history in the comics as well.
References to different films in the MCU franchise other than just the Avengers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yeah, I thought that was really well done. Now, there isn't many of them, but just to give you guys a fair warning, I want to get into some of my negatives.
Okay.
If you have some too. I think we're kind of in agreement. This is an understandable con for the show, but it is a kind of a pilot episode. It's the first episode, and it's a little slow to get going because they're trying to do character developments. They're trying to get you introduced to the whole environment in the community, not just this one character.
But they've all been pretty slow.
Yes.
To start. So that's a little understandable. Like, I get it, but yeah, no, I mean, it's slow.
It did feel like an hour.
Yeah.
This time, and there's been a lot of time.
There were a couple of times where I thought the episode was about to end, and that didn't end up being the case.
Oh yeah, there was a couple walk-off shots. And I was like, it's over. Nope, it's not. It's not over. It's still going.
It does end well, though.
It ended very well. This episode did a really good job. In the last 10 minutes, they kind of cranked it up and got you amped up for episode 2, which we almost didn't want to come up here to do the.
We wanted
first
to
review.
roll over.
Yeah, we wanted to just keep
going.
going.
Netflix does is they're like, the next episode starts in 18 seconds. We're like, we have a review.
I'm so glad we don't have to wait a week between episodes.
We were going to just watch it, but then I was like, I don't want to accidentally blend anything from the first episode to the second episode. He's like, no, we need to go do a review
right now.
So, do you have anything else to add to it?
No, with that, I think that pretty much closes our review for the very first episode of Luke Cage. I thought I was going to remember what the first episode was titled, but I don't.
We'll put it in the description.
We'll put it in the description. But anyways, guys, please, if you've checked out any Marvel Netflix, or even if you haven't, give Luke Cage a try. It's a very interesting twist on the superhero genre, and I think it's very original. It's a nice flavor of a show to get now, and looking forward to see episode 2 and letting you guys know what we think of the rest of the series.
All right.
So until next time, guys, may the film be with you, and we'll see you on the next review.
We'll see you for episode 2.